So today, we're going to deconstruct this really fascinating approach to learning a new language. We're diving into a unique Spanish coloring book that totally reimagines how we can introduce words to kids. It turns what could be a chore into a real adventure. Let's break down exactly how it works. I mean, this is a challenge every parent or teacher faces, right? How do you get past those endless, boring drills and make learning a language actually feel alive and, well, exciting? This is the exact problem that the book we're looking at today is trying to solve. You've got the old school way, right? Rote memory, just repeating words over and over and over again. But then there's this other method, one that's built on playful connection, where learning happens through discovery, through sound, and through story. And that's where things get really interesting. So let's jump in and explore our case study, a simple alphabet book that completely reimagines learning Spanish by focusing everything on this one big idea of playful connection. The whole approach is built on 3 really clever layers, and each one adds a little more depth. We're going to break them down one by one, and we'll start with the most intuitive and powerful entry point for any young learner: sound. So the first secret to this book's whole method is using phonetic similarities. It makes new words feel familiar and fun, like right from the get-go. It's all about listening for those rhymes. Okay, so take these 2 words, ballet and pastel. Just say them out loud for a second. That really satisfying rhyme, it creates this instant, memorable link in a kid's mind. It's so simple, but it's an incredibly effective technique. And here's another great one: niño and guiño, boy and wink. See? The rhythm just makes it catchy and fun. It turns learning vocabulary into a kind of musical game. It's such a simple hook that gets kids engaged immediately. The book also uses another really clever tool, cognates. Now, these are basically words that are like cousins across different languages. Think doctor or actor. They sound almost the same in English and Spanish. This builds a fantastic bridge from what a child already knows. But the book doesn't just stop at sounds. Oh no, the second layer is where it gets really rich. This is where it connects these simple vocabulary words to some deep and fascinating cultural stories. Okay, let's look at this pair, chocolate and aguacate. Avocado. These words aren't just linked by how they sound, they actually share this deep history, which transforms them from just random vocabulary into pieces of a much, much larger story. So the book has these cultural notes explaining that both chocolate and avocado were sacred to ancient civilizations in Mesoamerica. And suddenly, these aren't just words for food anymore. They're like little artifacts of history. Here is another really powerful example. On the surface, you've got quetzal, a bird, and nopal, a cactus. They look like just 2 more words to learn, but their cultural significance is absolutely immense. So a child isn't just learning words here. They're learning about national identity. The quetzal is the national bird of Guatemala, a huge symbol of freedom. And the nopal, that's a sacred symbol right on the Mexican flag. Pretty cool, huh? And it goes even deeper, all the way into the spiritual side of things. Words like jaguar are explained as being sacred. They were believed to be guardians of the underworld. This adds this incredible layer of magic and wonder to the whole learning process. All right, now for the third layer, and this is the one that really brings it all together. See, this book isn't designed to just be read passively. Not at all. It's designed to be an interactive toolkit for play. The core activity is just beautifully simple. First, you compare the rhyming words. Then, you draw them. And finally, you trace the letters. This multi-sensory loop really helps cement the words in a child's memory because they're actively participating. And it doesn't stop there. The book is packed with all these game prompts, like the echo game, speed rounds, mix and match, that really encourage parents and kids to play together. The whole point isn't about getting the pronunciation perfect. Nope. It's all about building confidence and just having a good time together. So when you put all these pieces together, what do you get? You see that this is so much more than just another alphabet book. It really is an alphabet of connection. So the whole method really breaks down into these 3 clear layers. First, you have sound, which serves as that playful entry point. Then you have culture, which provides that deeper meaning. And finally, you have play, which drives the active learning. Each layer just builds perfectly on the last one. So ultimately, this method isn't just about connecting a child to the Spanish language. It's about connecting sounds to words, words to culture, and this is the most important part, connecting a child to their family through this shared experience of discovery and play. And, that really leaves us with a final thought here. This method of using sound, story, and play, it's not just for learning Spanish. It just makes you wonder, right? What other subjects could we completely transform if we stopped just, memorizing facts and actually started listening for the connections?